Hi, everyone. We're so excited for you to listen to the first episode of our new podcast, Not From Boston. We plan on releasing episodes every Friday, wherever you get your podcasts, so please be sure to like and subscribe. Also, check out our Substack at notfromboston.substack.com to see our weekly newsletter. Thank you.
And we are now live once again.
All right. Yeah. You're not going to hear what we did before.
This is try 2, sound error, trial 2.
But this is the first episode of Not From Boston.
I'm Harry.
I'm Bennett.
And we are not from Boston.
Yeah, no, the title does not lie. Although you lived in Boston.
So I did, and my dad's family is from the Berkshires, Massachusetts. So I have a quite strong connection to Boston. I was raised basically from the minute I popped out the womb, Red Sox fan. I had the little jumper and everything. My dad's a huge Red Sox fan.
Yeah, I have an aunt who's from Boston, but other than that, no connection.
No connection.
Everyone's from New York or Argentina or lived all over the place. I mean, my mom is a Yankees fan.
I was going to say your family is Yankees.
They're Yankees and Mets fans, and it's,
But we've known each other since kindergarten.
Yeah. We met in Miss class.
Shout out to Miss.
I mean, it'll never not be funny to me that Harry is in music. I've been in film. We both went to Arlington Science Focus School, and neither of us are very science focused at all.
No, I don't really care. I mean, I guess. So I'm, just to give my background a little bit, I'm a singer and a vocal coach, and that's been my bread and butter. I'm a vocal producer as well, songwriter out in Los Angeles. And the science part, I am interested in human biology because that's connected to your voice. Like, obviously, like the study of the voice and the muscles and how everything interacts is biology. But like, I don't care about chemistry or none of that. That's not interested.
What is this podcast for again?
Baseball. So let's talk about baseball. So anyway, I was born a Red Sox fan, and I met Bennett in kindergarten.
Yeah. Started school, became friends just before, because it was 2002 that
2002.
Like just before the Red Sox started winning.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice to kind of grow up
a good, not a tortured Red Sox fan. Yeah.
I mean, now I feel like we're a little tortured.
I definitely will say I inherited generational trauma from my dad, because my dad, I'm so passionate about the team because of how I was raised, and my dad, and he would tell me stories like heartbreak year after year after year. He grew up through the Bill Buckner and all that, just seeing all of it. The Reds beating the Red Sox and the impossible dream, all that stuff. He witnessed it and was just like, this is never going to happen,
Yeah. I mean, I feel but we still got we got our own heartbreak. 2011, I still remember.
Was that Bobby Valentine?
That was the
collapse.
collapse.
That was the year before. Yeah, that was the chicken and beer. Yeah. With Josh Beckett's last year.
Yeah, and we just crashed and burned in the last week or so of the season.
Oh yeah, that was when the Orioles fired off 25 wins in a row or something in September. Yeah.
Yeah, so that sucked.
And we've witnessed arguably the second worst trade in Major League Baseball history, which compounds upon our previous record of the worst trade in Major League Baseball history.
Yeah, and I swear to God, I don't ever want to hear anything about Mookie Betts ever again.
To be fair, we live in LA. I do like going to watch Mookie Betts.
I love watching him play.
I love Mookie.
I just pretend that he didn't exist
on the Red Sox.
He was with the Dodgers.
I recently tortured myself and was literally 3 nights ago was watching his highlights from the 2018 season, and I came across the at bat against the Blue Jays where I think it was an 18 pitch at bat, and on the 18th pitch he hit a grand slam.
That was, that's just magic.
Yeah. And so I lived in, like Bennett mentioned, I went to Berklee College of Music, and I lived in Boston for 4 years. I probably went to 150 Red Sox games in that period. I would go twice a week, every single week. The school would give out these $10 bleacher tickets, and no one cared because it was music school. So I'd just buy them all. Yeah. So anyway, you want to intro yourself a little bit?
Yeah. So, I'm Bennett, and a couple of times I've actually met people, and I've introduced myself, and they've said, "Oh, my name is Bennett, and I ain't in it," which I guess is a saying some people have.
Never heard that, but all right.
Me neither. And I'm also untrue. I love being in other people's bullshit.
There you go. There you go.
I love the gossip. But yeah, no. So I'm. I guess I was a big theater kid in school. I quickly learned that I was not capable of being good at sports. from a pretty early age. So like I was a real big like stats guy. And I loved like memorizing like trivia and memorabilia, like all of the kind of. One trip, my mom and my grandpa took me to Cooperstown, to the Hall of Fame Museum, and in the room where they got all the perfect game balls, they got one ball from every perfect game, and I'm going down the row, and I'm just without looking, just naming like the pitcher, the year, and like the team they were for, and there were just other people in that room who were just like.
Yeah.
Who are you? Yeah. So it was just very funny because it was like a kind of like a, I don't know, like a Goodwill Hunting thing. Like I just solved the math problem on the blackboard. But yeah, so I moved to New York to go to college. I went to Bard College for 2 years, studied film. I think at the time I had a really bad time. I think looking back, it actually was pretty good. But I transferred to NYU to go to Tisch to study film and TV production, which was a lot of fun. And I, loved living in New York. Went to a couple of Yankee games, went to the Yankees Red Sox ALDS game 3.
Oh, yeah, you went to the was it 16-3?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
And that was fun. It was 16-1.
16-1.
It was
Brock
great.
Holt.
It was great because I went with my now ex-girlfriend. We weren't even, I think, dating at the time, but like I brought her anyway, and she isn't from the US, and so like didn't know baseball well, but also had like no real concept of like the rivalry other than that there's a rivalry. And so she was like, are we safe? Are we safe to wear Red Sox jerseys here? And I'm like, yes. Like
I don't know, dude. I've seen some crazy like Yankees fans are like,
I'm like, it's not 2004 anymore.
No.
Like it's not. But yeah, so I was out in NYU, and actually I think while we're on the subject of like that particular ex-girlfriend, it kind of perfectly like dovetails into like she and I dated until May when I was graduating from NYU. We broke up, and within like a day of us breaking up, I go on Facebook and I see that Harry has posted that he's moving to LA and he's looking for a roommate. And I at the time was like split. I was like, I don't know if I want to stay in New York or move to LA. I see that post from Harry. I've just been dumped. On the spot. I'm like, okay, we're going to LA. We're moving. And
so we lived together in LA for 3.5 years. 3 years?
I think, yeah. 3, yeah.
Yeah. Lived in Boyle Heights, baby.
Yeah.
And we watched a lot of Red Sox games together.
Yeah.
We saw some of the worst Red Sox baseball together those years. 2020, COVID season, Ron Renicky.
That was so brutal.
But 2021, kind of an almost magical season.
No, I mean, that was
a magical season.
That year made no sense. It was so cool. Truly, like, that would have been... I can't even... I think still I can't make sense of it. Like, I can't, like, wrap my head around, like, how good we were. Because we were supposed to be
bad. Well, we had finished dead last.
Yeah, we were bad the year before, and then we were bad the next 3 years after. So it's like, what happened?
It's kind of, I've heard this described as the Cardinals of the AL. It's the same thing. The Cardinals had what they called the Devil Magic with Tommy Edman, now a World Series champion. But like those two teams, I think in that year, the Cardinals, maybe it was 2019, they made the playoffs and they just were not supposed to be good. And they were making these crazy plays in the field. They were like slapping doubles around and scoring lots of runs.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll talk more about the baseball stuff obviously throughout this, but that was the ultimate reason we didn't win, I think, was a failure of actual team construction. Like we were missing some very obvious pieces.
Our bullpen
was terrible.
Crapped out. I mean, it was like
who was closing?
We kept going to Sawamura.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And Brazier.
And I think Barnes was still there.
Yeah, Matt Barnes. Yeah. Brandon Workman.
I really need the Red Sox to make the playoffs this year. Just if for nothing else, I need more Red Sox playoff memories too.
Yeah, seriously.
Because as cool, as incredible as the memory of like watching Freddie Freeman's Game 1 Grand Slam in the World Series this year was, and like that was an
unbelievable.
Amazing
we watched
memory.
That together as well. Yeah,
like, at
that was
this
unreal.
Like crowded bar, like I hugged a guy who I don't know. Like that, however magical that was, I'm like, it is still not a Red Sox.
Yeah,
game.
It doesn't feel. You don't have that like warm and fuzzy feeling inside. It's not
like,
the same.
It's almost good enough.
Let's start with. Well, let's do this. Let's say our favorite Red Sox team, like our favorite year. It doesn't have to be a World Series championship team. Mine is. I would assume it's going to be a World Series championship team. And our favorite Red Sox player of all time. And it can be someone you never watched if you want, but again, mine's going to be someone I watched play. So you want to go first on the team?
I mean, I'll go to 07. I love
it was a great team.
The 07 team. That
strong team.
I think that's a team I watched, like, maybe not the most, but like at that age, that was the most I had watched baseball. And just
explosive team.
Yeah, 4 home runs in a row in that one game,
crazy.
and
Against the Yankees. Yeah.
And that team was just like, that was the first time I think I ever saw the Red Sox be like a force, an unstoppable machine all season.
Yeah.
And I think I just love that team. I loved Josh Beckett. I love Josh Beckett during that year.
I have a Wheaties box in my closet right now with Josh Beckett on it. I saved it.
I think it's so hard to pick a favorite player because I feel like it changes like so much. I obviously like I love Poppy. And I love, Veritek, but I do think like Pedroia is I love
such a
that
dirt
dude.
dog.
He's gonna get it done. And like if Manny Machado hadn't,
ended his career prematurely,
he would be a Hall of Famer.
I would think so. I mean, he was kind of one of those guys who seemed like he was on track for like, counting stats, 3,000 hits kind of thing. And I think his career batting average is 299.
Yeah, and also just like he's like he's short. He's like, I don't actually know his exact height, but he's short.
He's
and
like 5'9".
He comes in with this awesome, like, oh, I'm little, fuck you.
Yeah,
like,
big swing.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, though? That guy, I know he didn't hit a lot of home runs, but that fool had power. Yeah. I've seen him hit some big home runs.
And it was so fun to, like, watch, like, him hit balls over the monster.
Yeah, totally.
Love Pedroia. What about you?
For me, it's between 13 and 18. I think I'm going to go 13. 18 was such a dominant team. That was like low-key one of the best teams, I think, in baseball history.
Yeah.
To win 108 games and win the World Series. Like, I think the Yankees won the World Series after winning 112. I think. The Mariners won 116 but got bounced. But anyway, there was something about, we were talking about 2021 earlier. There was something about the 2013 team, and I was locked in on that season. I watched every single game. Like, I would watch it as soon as I got home. We, like, streamed Nesson from, like, we grew up in the D.C. area.
Well, that year was also just a big deal because of, like, it was Boston Strong. It was the bomb.
Yeah, and that cements the legacy of my favorite Red Sox player, which is obviously David Ortiz. Like, I'm such a big Poppy guy. I'm a right-handed hitter, and I should add, I grew up playing very competitive baseball. I played varsity in high school. I was originally thought I was gonna play Division I in college, and then I pursued music instead. Just didn't feel like the right thing for me to do. But I modeled my at bats. I modeled the way I took pitches, the sort of selection of pitches I chose to swing at, the way I swung, the launch angle, everything off of David Ortiz's swing. Yeah. I think he just had such an incredible pure swing. Power hitter with a lot of contact, potential to hit to all fields. Like, he's a guy whose career on base percentage is similar to like a Barry Bonds. Like, he took a lot of walks, not quite the same.
No, I was like gonna say Barry Bonds.
It's similar though. He took a lot of walks. He hit a lot of doubles. Like, I think he's got like 600 doubles. I can check. Look that up. How many doubles David Ortiz have? But
by the way, to answer your question earlier, the 98 Yankees team won 114 games.
Wow, and they won the World Series. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so I would say that 18 Red Sox team is like top 3 of all time. But the 13 team, just to get back to it, there's sort of 3 components that mark that sort of cemented in my mind and make it so special. Number 1 is the David Ortiz performance in the World Series and in the playoffs. Like, that guy, I think he hit like 550 in the World Series, and it was like every possible. He hit home runs. He was slapping doubles the other way. He was hitting the ball up the middle. Like, they could not get him out. Like, they would have paid somebody to get him out, and they couldn't. How many doubles did you look?
632.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that guy's a stud.
Yeah. So we got to get into just we've been talking a lot about the past. We should probably get into
present.
Yeah,
it is baseball time.
So Bob Nightingale just tweeted a few hours ago. He said, free agent third baseman Alex Bregman still has no interest in a short-term contract and seeks a 6 or 7 year deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's like
Dude,
Scott Boras.
You're not getting that contract. Like, I don't know how to tell you. You're not. Spring training starts like next week.
Yeah,
like,
pitchers and catchers report next week.
You're not getting 7 years.
It's really interesting because this is a common thing with Boras guys now, and it's funny. I remember last offseason reading an article about how like the Boras clients are upset. Because wasn't Jordan Montgomery a Boras guy?
Yeah.
And he signed really, really late. He didn't want to be there. Like,
and then he ditched Boras.
Yeah. So we're doing it again. I remember 2018 when we signed JD Martinez, also a Boris guy, same song and dance. So I really want Alex Bregman.
I kind of go back and forth. I mean, so for those of you that don't know, the Red Sox have been pretty much all winter been debating about whether or not we sign Alex Bregman, who is a third baseman who can play second base.
And short.
He's, good. He's a veteran. He's got leadership skills. However, he's declining a little.
Mildly, yeah.
Or, we could trade for Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals, a third baseman who also is in decline.
Who was, I think the best third baseman in baseball for quite a bit. But yeah, he's 33 now.
Or the Red Sox get nobody, and we use our prospects, specifically Christian Campbell, who can play second, or Vaughn Grissom, to cover that hole. And those are kind of like the three options. I mean, Bregman I like, but I don't like if Craig Breslow, if the Red Sox front office, if their issue is we want Bregman, but because we got these young guys coming, like we only want him for 3 years because that's all we need him for. And he's like, no, I want 6. I'm okay with the Red Sox being like, okay, well, we're not going to 6. We're not doubling our offer. Like, we just, I think.
Well, because Bregman's 29.
No, he's 31.
Oh, he's 31. Yeah, so a 6-year deal brings him to 37.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard because I hear this expression used a lot in sports. It's not my money, right? So, like, a lot of fans say, look, it's not my money. And I unfortunately think our ownership is under the microscope a lot more because we've really only splurged on one player in the last 6 seasons, which is Trevor Story, and has not worked out. Not to the fault of anybody. He's been injured, but
there was the Devers extension, but
even that, he took the contract, but
and we had to twist John Henry's arm to get it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's to me, I find myself usually not agreeing with the it's not my money thing, but in this instance, maybe yes, agreeing with it a little bit. Like, I'm like, yeah, splash the cash because we need a right-handed bat that can hit 30 home runs.
I just think, like, I don't want to spend money just to spend money.
No, I don't think we should, and I don't think we should give him a 6-year deal. I think that's a bad contract.
I think a 6-year deal to Alex Bregman gives me like Hanley Ramirez, Pablo Sanchez.
It's a bad contract.
Pablo Sandoval vibes. So
he's not going to go to 5.
Wait, I got my Pablo mixed up.
Pablo Sanchez. Pablo Sanchez.
Who we did sign.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would be cool with 5, probably not cool with 6. But I want that bat. I want a right-handed guy that can put the ball in the air, hit the green monster, get to second base, and can play a few different positions. I would prefer Bregman over Arenado.
I mean, the thing is, like, what you're describing, like, I really think Campbell is
He's good.
Guy.
Yeah, he's serious.
It's just really risky to put that on a 22-year-old prospect who's, like, blazed his way through the minors,
Because that gives me, just to talk about vibes, that gives me Jeter Downs vibes a little bit.
Jeter Downs never had the ceiling that, or never had the.
He was supposed to be pretty good.
He was not a number, like, he was not a top 10 ranked prospect in America.
I just remember getting him, and everyone was like, "Oh, dude, this guy's the next big thing. He's this and that." And like, he wasn't. I don't even think he's in baseball anymore.
No, but he wasn't a ranked prospect at all. Like, at least nationally, like Christian Campbell is in like.
Yeah, he's in the top 10.
Yeah, except for ESPN, which put him at like 26 because.
ESPN doesn't pay attention to baseball.
Yeah, ESPN doesn't like
football
anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, I
think it's a lot to put on a kid's shoulders.
It's a lot. At the same time, I think like the talent's there, and once you sign a guy or you trade for a guy who's going to be worth, whether it's Arenado or Bregman, you're talking about a guy who's like worth $20 million, $30 million a year. That guy plugs your roster.
Yeah,
makes it harder to bring up that guy. I mean, and then you're going to have to make another move later. Like, this roster is already so congested.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I love Yoshida. I think he's a really good hitter.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's like I think he's just not a good fit for where this team is at and what this team needs.
He's injured apparently right now too.
He had a surgery over the winter, but he just started taking swings again.
Okay.
But either way, it's like that's already like we need to move him to make room for this roster to have some flexibility, and that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think anybody wants him.
Well, he's not a power guy. He's got $54 million left on his contract. It's just like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't think the Red Sox are in the business of eating money on contracts. Like, they're very frugal.
No. Yeah, I want the Red Sox to spend money, but I want them to spend money wisely.
Let me ask you this: how come? I'm thinking about the hole in our team. It's always, my wife always says, like, what's the kink in the hose? Mm-hmm. Like, what's the problem? Pitching looks good. Starting pitching looks really, really solid. Bullpen looking better.
I would still, I mean, if there is an opportunity to get somebody else, I would.
Yeah, I think so.
But I'm not unhappy with the bullpen where it's at now. I mean,
but to me, right-handed power is a big kink in the hose.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big. We have 3 guys that are left-handed that can bash 35 homers. We have nobody right-handed. Story, if he's healthy, which let's be honest, you can't rely on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's an if, and I think I think it. I don't. I feel like some of the Red Sox organization feels like Christian Campbell is that guy who like he can deliver that, and I think the other half doesn't, like, feels like a veteran touch is needed. I also just think it's a young roster. It's a bunch of young guys,
which I'm excited about.
Yeah, but they're not like playoff experienced.
No,
like, I think having Bregman, who's won,
it's a leader. He's a 2-time World Series champion.
Okay, let's say
one and a half.
You know,
nah, he's a 1-time World Series champion. I actually will say I had that thought recently. I was thinking about it. I was like, how do I feel about that if we get him? I hated Bregman. I really hate Carlos Correa. I think of all the villains from Houston, I know that was actually potentially discussed, a trade for Carlos Correa with us. It didn't end up happening.
I'm so glad it didn't happen.
I fucking hate that guy. I have no idea. I just think he's so cocky, and like Bregman is cocky, but at least he seems like he might be kind of a cool guy, you know?
Yeah, and I think like a lot of time has kind of passed, and
it was a while ago.
like they have won another World Series, so like clearly, it's not that I'm not defending 2017 at all. Like, I think it was abhorrent. I think at this point, though, the blame doesn't really rest on the Astros players as much as it rests on MLB for not doing a goddamn thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken the trophy away, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I mean, we do need a right-handed bat, and I won't be unhappy if any of those 3. I wouldn't be unhappy if we signed Bregman or traded for Arenado or didn't do anything. Like, I think either way, it's like there are risks to all 3 options.
So then here's my follow-up question, which I thought about before we started filming this. How come we didn't give Pete Alonso a sniff?
I think because Pete Alonso really wanted to go back to the Mets. I think, which is what he ended up doing. I mean,
right. But I wonder, you don't think if they came in with a big AAV contract and said, hey, man, like, they can – there's a slot open for him to DH.
No, there's not. We got Yoshida.
Bro, Yoshida's sitting, in my opinion. And like, you get a platoon, you get 2 – I guess Pete Alonso's not going to platoon, but –
No, Pete Alonso's not going to platoon. You're not going to sit Yoshida, and you can't really trade him. And I just so not on the Casas, like trading Casas.
No, I think you can't do that. You can't do that. His upside is way too big.
Yeah, unless they really wanted to trade Yoshida and they like made that happen, I wouldn't go for Pete Alonso. Even though I see your point. Like, I think it would be great there.
It's like the lost money fallacy. Like, I'm like, okay, like Yoshida's not working out. He's not going to play that much. Like, that's my mind is just, which I know is not realistic, but I'm like, get Alonso, stick him in DH. Sorry, Yoshida, you're not going to play. But that's not how it works.
Yeah, I mean, not when you pay him as much as you do.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
and he might be good again. Who knows? Like, he might work out. I don't know, but
yeah, the thing is, like, we talk about this like need for the Red Sox. Right-handed bat. Like, this is still a better team than last year's team.
I think
this
so.
This is a team that for sure wins 85 games. If
I think so,
not more.
It's a third wild card team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I was looking today and like Pacoda had a their projections have the Red Sox being like 78 and 84 and being in last place.
That's too low.
And I don't think that's right. I also think
they have them in last place.
Yeah, and they have like
78 wins.
They have the Yankees winning the division, but like with I think 89 wins, which I also think is crazy.
Yeah.
But Fangraphs has them at 84 and 78 in second place.
I definitely think our division's extremely competitive again.
Yeah, I mean, which is great. I mean, it's great. It's also a headache.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, in a way, is it bad that if you come in the third wild card spot and you play the Orioles, and you've seen the Orioles, I know they redid the schedule, but we still see the Orioles more than other teams, right? You know them. You know what to expect. They know us too. So it goes both ways. But
I mean, I think you like with our division specifically, I think with the Blue Jays and the Rays, like they end up being good because of luck. Like they just happen to have all their pieces that they have just happen to click, and they go off. I think with the Orioles, like they're good-ish. Like their pitching is weak. I think if they don't change much and they don't do much like by the deadline, or if they don't do anything at the deadline, or don't do enough, like that team is going to collapse in August, September because their pitching is just going to be dead.
And they're still relying on like Jackson Holiday to be like this huge star who's like he's going to be, I think.
Well,
but...
I mean, they also got like having like Tyler O'Neill's good. Like they're offensively, I'm like, yeah, you're going to put up a bunch. And they moved the left field wall again.
Oh, they did?
They moved it in.
Oh, yeah, that was ridiculous.
They like kind of found a middle ground between where it originally was.
Yeah,
and where
that
it
was silly.
Last year.
That was silly.
I don't think you should be allowed to like change your dimensions that often.
I don't think so.
But
look, man, if you play in a small ballpark, you play in a fucking small ballpark.
Yeah,
throw better pitches. Like I don't know. You don't want to give up a home run. Don't give up a fly ball. I know it's easier said than done, but
yeah, I mean, it's like you don't see. I mean, if the Rockies were taking that approach that the Orioles have taken, like they'd have like a 500-foot.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
and it'd still be home runs.
Also, like, it's really hard, and this is like a philosophical thing. I don't want to get off topic here, but you got to hit the ball well to hit it out there, right? Like, you're not going to poke a home run out. Like the Astros. I think the Astros and the Yankees have the most hitter-friendly ballparks, and Colorado, obviously. But like,
I think we have a more friendly.
But the Astros, we're 310, but you got to hit it high. The Astros are 315, and it's not even half the size.
That's true. Yeah.
The Crawford boxes, that's like, I mean, I remember Correa in 2017 hitting like literally a pop-up, and it went over the fence. I was like, what the? But fool hit the ball 320 feet at a major league level. It's like, you still got to hit the ball well. You know, it's not 260, so...
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess the moving the fences thing, I'm out on that. That's an L for me. But I just think we got to get to me. I would love to see another right-handed bat before any other moves get done. I don't know if it doesn't seem like Bregman's going to happen. Like let's make our prediction, because to me, a trade for Arenado, although they say it's not going to, that seems more likely at this current moment than signing Alex Bregman. It seems like Bregman is not going to budge on the 6 years, and it seems like the Red Sox are not going to give him 6, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, the issue with the Arenado is that Arenado can't play second. He can only play third, so it means moving Devers, which means moving either Casas or Yoshida.
Right.
Which moving Yoshida you can't really do because of money, and moving Casas you shouldn't do because Casas is really good, and you're not going to get high value for him now.
No, I want Casas locked up, bro. I think that guy's going to be a 35, 40 home run hitter.
Yeah. I think people are honestly, like, I think people are just more down on Casas because he's just, like, not, like, macho enough, like, in their minds. Like, it's like they don't
That's
like
silly.
the stretching on the field,
whatever,
the painted
dude.
fingernails.
I love that shit. I love that shit.
I agree. I think it's great.
I
think
love him.
It's just, like, it's just men being men.
I remember also, just aside, Bennett and I went to a game last year at Angel Stadium. That is a big fucking guy. Tristan Casas, that is a big boy.
Casas is huge.
He is literally a tower. Like, I've never seen somebody built like that. And he's shockingly athletic at first. Like, he made a couple stretches that were like, damn, I didn't think he could do that.
Yeah. I mean, last year was really unfortunate. It just, like, was, you know, an injury. It happens, you know. But 2023 was really good. I think
he's going to be a good player.
Barring injury, he's going to go off this
year.
Yeah,
he's going to be a good player. He has a lot of potential. Okay, so give me your predicted starting 9 and opening day starter. I think opening day starter is pretty easy, but
I mean, yeah, I think opening day starter is Garrett Crochet.
It has to be. And they need to lock that long-term extension. I want that done.
Although, can I just say, like, I am so pumped. Walker Buehler is, I think, the guy I'm most excited for.
I'm stoked about it too.
I think he's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it too, and I think he's gonna like Fenway. I think he's gonna like Boston. I could see him wanting to stay. I would
love it if he stayed. I would love it.
It's funny, these Dodgers guys, the Dodgers must have like the best run organization ever because
They do.
all their guys are such good vibes. Like when we
Yeah.
had Kike and like even Verdugo until the end, like at the end it was really bad, but those guys were like high vibes, like they were energetic, and like Walker Buehler's the same energy. He's gonna come in like, yo, let's fucking go. Like he's a World Series champion.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Red Sox ownership could take note. You know,
It's
they could learn
one
a
of
lot
those
from the
things too.
Dodgers.
You know, it's like a top down thing.
Yeah,
Because when
yeah.
you hear
Yeah.
like I watch Mookie Betts' podcast sometimes when he has those guys on, Dave Roberts
Yeah.
interview, like they're all like high vibes, like they all fuck with each other, they all kind of goof around with each other, but then they win hella ball games every year. You know,
I mean, that organization is just they're smart with their money, they're smart with their prospects. They're not like, I mean, they're throwing a lot of money around and it's crazy, but like they're not just like throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Like
no, they know what they're doing, and they're smart. I mean, bro, getting these 3 big Japanese players, that's no accident. Like, I mean, we know that obviously, but like, they're upping their, you know.
Oh yeah, the revenue is. I mean, their fan base has
insane.
expanded so much. I mean, they have L.A. and then they have a whole country.
Yeah, but yeah, what do you think? Starting 9, opening day pitcher.
So Garrett Crochet starting. I'd have Duran in left, Rafaela in center, Abreu in right. Can't believe Abreu is still on the team. I
was going to ask you about that next, but yeah, go on.
thought he was going to get traded. Casas at first. I think it's gonna be Campbell at second. I would personally like to see Vaughn Grissom get a shot.
Okay.
Trevor Story at shortstop.
Yep.
Assuming he doesn't like trip and break
Blow
an
up
ankle.
in spring training.
Devers at third. Yoshida DH. Connor Wong behind the plate. I mean,
I think I've got the same. I think it's probably right. Do you believe what they're saying? They were saying at the Fenway weekend that they're going to have Yoshida in the outfield this year.
I mean, they might.
Is he not? Is he really a bad outfielder? Like
I don't think
he's not a good outfielder, but he's not a bad. He's not like JD Martinez.
No,
not a good outfielder.
I don't think
like,
I mean, I really do think that they just having Tyler O'Neill on the roster didn't help the clog of outfielders.
Yes,
but I think with Yoshida, they're saying that mostly to drive his value up in case somebody wants.
That's what I mean. I think it's a trade thing, but. You know, it's funny, even I say JD Martinez, I remember thinking like, oh, this guy's shit in the outfield. He was not that bad. To be honest with you, he had a good arm. He can't run for shit. But like, as a left fielder, like...
Truth be told, I would re-sign JD now to DH.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if we're talking about like a right-handed power
absolutely.
bat, like he's like 100, but like I'd still do it.
Yeah, fans would like him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go Duran, Rafaela, Abreu, Casas. Oh, second base. What do I think is going to happen at second base? You said Campbell?
Yeah. Well, I would like Grissom, but Campbell.
I'm going to come back to second base. Story, Devers, Wong. It'll probably be Crochet. I guess I got to also say Campbell, but I'm still holding out that little bit of hope that it's going to be Alex Bregman. Like, there's going to be a way that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. I also do think Grissom might have... I mean, between the two of them, who do you think has the bigger ceiling?
Oh, I mean, Campbell for sure.
Yeah, I think...
100%.
Dude, I think Grissom's nasty,
I mean,
though.
I think he had he had a rough year, a lot of injuries.
Sure.
But then in September, he was going off in AAA. Came up for I think a week or two.
Yeah, a week.
It was doing well here in the majors for that. Like let's just see. Like
Yeah.
last year was last year.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Marcelo Meyer, speaking of guys who get injured all the time.
I'd keep him in AAA for
a
while. Just to see that
who's backing up at short?
Oh, at the big league level?
Yeah. Who's second?
Oh, it's either David Hamilton or Vaughn Grissom.
Right.
Or, I mean, I don't think they're trying to put Rafaela at center mode. They want him to be the everyday center fielder, which I also think is incorrect, but...
Yeah.
Just because once you get Roman Anthony up...
Yeah.
You know...
It's trade bait. He's like cannon fodder, like, honestly.
No. I think you make him like a Kike. You make him like a super utility
guy.
Yeah. 100%.
You think they'll keep him and not... You think they'll keep him and trade Abreu? Like one of them is going to go. One of those guys is going to go.
Like I'll tell you, like if I'm sitting in Craig Breslow's office like right now, I'm saying maybe not now, maybe at the trade deadline, you're trading Abreu, you're not trading Rafaela. Abreu he'll get you a higher return.
Yeah.
Rafaela,
he's a Gold Glover.
Yeah, Rafaela has pop. He just doesn't. He just swings at too much.
Yeah, he swings a lot of low shit.
You figure out like if he can figure out how to be a little bit more patient at the plate, like that is gonna be really, really helpful, and he can just play everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably right. I mean, it is useful to have a guy like that. The Dodgers had 4 of them this year.
Yeah. Also, Abreu can't play anywhere else other than the outfield. Yeah. And again, like once
he throws left-handed, yeah.
Yeah, and then again, once like Roman Anthony's up, then it's like
it's not gonna happen.
Anthony, it's Duran, it's Rafaela, it's Abreu,
we have so many young outfielders. It's like insane.
Yeah, which is
that's a good problem to have. It's a champagne problem, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really think like I don't know. It's funny because I think the I lost my train of thought. Fuck. I think that the Red Sox it's great that they've built this younger team, that they've rebuilt this farm system. Thank you, Chaim Bloom.
Yeah, hey.
You did your job.
Ain't no problem.
We're sorry we fired you.
I'm not sorry.
I mean, I like Craig Breslow, but like,
I'm not sorry.
I just, it does suck.
Yeah, it sucks.
But, it's like, I feel really good about our, farm system in the short term in terms of bringing Anthony, Meyer, and Campbell up, but also long term Franklin Arias.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
Blaze Jordan, Hunter Dobbins.
So
like we got, I think like the Red Sox can feed off of this farm system if they want to for the next few years.
Yeah, next decade.
They could also, if they wanted to, they could just trade a whole bunch of them and get some stars. If they wanted, I don't think they'll do that, and I wouldn't do that. But
I think you pick 2 of them that have a high ceiling and you trade them for somebody good. But I don't know. It's a balance. It's a balancing act for sure.
I think like the thing that honestly pisses me off the most though about it is like that is as a strategy. I think it's good. I think we've seen it work in a lot of places. I think we've seen it work in Baltimore now. I think we've seen it work in Tampa Bay. Like I think both like the early 2000s and in the 2010s. Why the Red Sox like leadership is just like so unable to just say like this is the plan. We like this plan. Long term, it's better for the team. It means when we become competitive, we're gonna become competitive for longer. Like I don't know why they can't say that. Why people have to go out? Why Sam Kennedy has to go out and say we're gonna win 90?
Bro, he's always saying stupid shit, bro.
We're gonna go above.
He's always saying dumb shit.
The CBT, except we now we're spending less money than we spent last year.
Yeah,
it's like
nah.
Don't confuse. Like don't point one direction and then go the other, because then this is why fans hate you.
Yeah.
Like just be honest with your plan, because it's a good plan.
Yeah.
Would love it.
I couldn't do it.
I will say I was reading an article in The Athletic today. So the MLB owners had a meeting this week, and they were talking about a salary cap.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. We've talked about this off camera a lot. Oddly enough, the salary cap is not the problem to me. The spending floor is the problem. That's my opinion, because it looks like everyone's pissed at the Dodgers, right? Because like, Shohei, people say Shohei shouldn't be allowed to defer all that money, and why are they allowed to do this? And there's a salary cap, and there should be, teams that spend more. Bro, the Oakland A's they actually just spent money this year, but like Tampa Bay historically spends like $10 million in offseason. Like Oakland historically between 15 and 20 million in offseason. Like their payroll is 30 million. Like that's, to me, if you're going to make a salary cap, you have to make a bottom too. Like you can't underspend intentionally to tank, because that is fucking up the league.
Yeah. And I think like, there's a lot of talk of like, oh, well, every team could spend the way the Dodgers do. They just choose not to. And I'm like, it's like, I don't think that that's necessarily true. And I don't think a salary cap fixes that.
No.
Because like there's, Forbes every year, they publish the data on like the revenue for each MLB team, and the info on every team's player payroll is just available for like, Twitter and COTS contracts
Sure.
and stuff. So someone made a nice like nifty little chart of like what percentage of revenue is going back into payroll, or like here's the revenue number, here's the payroll number. Like the payroll number would in theory be like X percentage of the revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like that's not taking into account like all the other money that teams have flowing in and out of
Right.
it. Which I can't speak to, but just based on like those two numbers alone, it's like, okay, well, yeah, the Dodgers spend $330 million this year. They also made almost $600 million last year.
Yeah, I mean,
like sure, the Pirates could spend $300 million, but that's all of their revenue from the past year.
You should look into. I'm also, so disclaimer, baseball is my first love, soccer is my second. I love baseball and I love football, the real football. I'm a huge fan of Arsenal. Those Red Sox and Arsenal are like my two, like I'm not missing any of those games. The Premier League and most European soccer clubs abide by profit and sustainability rules. So it's based on how much revenue your club makes is how much you're allowed to spend and how much you can't spend. I'm not like incredibly well versed in how that works, unfortunately, because a lot of the teams cheat it too, and then they get fined and they get sent down to a lower league. But I want to look into that more and see how they do it. Maybe that's a system that Major League Baseball could adopt. Like it's contingent on how much money your team brings in.
I also like, I mean, I'm not frankly like that bothered by the spend. I mean, I think like the amount of money we're talking about is stupid.
Yeah, it's like we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars.
But that aside, like the one team spending so much more than the other, like I'm unbothered by it because it's not like in football where like one team wins every single year.
Yeah, baseball has good parity for sure.
Great parity.
But my issue isn't teams spending more than other teams. My issue is the intentional. Let's not spend jack shit and get a bunch of draft picks and then flip them and get one good guy and then we'll do it again. Like, you got to feel for people. Our old neighbor in Boyle Heights was a big Rays fan. I remember talking to him about it, and he was like they had just signed Wander Franco, which like yikes. But
oh god,
yikes. You got to feel for those guys. Like I know the Rays had a couple years where they were doing the Moneyball thing and it worked out, but like, what are you looking forward to? Like, what are you looking forward to? You're not going to sign any significant superstar. Like, if you're an athletics fan, I know Moneyball is praised as this awesome thing, and I get it. It's revolutionary, and it was really cool. People also neglect to discuss the fact that they had, like, a crazy starting rotation.
Yeah, I was going to say,
bro, they had 3 Cy Young candidates, like, starting, and they're,
I think 3 20-game winning
That's the most ridiculous. That's the thing about Moneyball. Like, I like the book. I really like the movie a lot.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, the movie's great. The book's really, really good, but, like, people are like, wow, that people who don't know baseball, it's so amazing. I'm like, you're forgetting like the most crucial piece of this is they had 3 20-game winners. But my point being, a lot of my friends from California are Oakland fans, and they're like, we don't watch baseball anymore because we have nothing to look forward to. Like, who are we watching the A's for? Like, they're like, I'm not going to become a Dodgers fan, so like, what? Watch my team sign some fucking bottom feeder free agent and like field a team of AAA guys? Like, I think you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how they manage that, but
I don't either. I think it's hard because I don't think it's enforceable. But like, you just gotta like baseball teams should be owned by people who like baseball.
That's where it goes. Is like the owners have to be.
You can't enforce like that's not. But like, yeah, there should be more owners like Steve Cohen, not who have these.
He's kind of a psycho, but yeah.
I mean, and not like not because of his money, but just like because Steve Cohen bought the Mets and he's like, we're gonna win.
Yeah, and like, dude, it worked. Like they haven't won the World Series, but like they turned that ship around seriously. Yeah. Like, but
like that mentality is like you need every owner needs to have that mentality. John Henry had that mentality.
He has too many teams
in 2002.
He has too many sports teams. Yeah, he owns Liverpool.
Yeah, so I think it's about, with owners, I think it's about that. I also really hate, like, I feel like in the last few years, like, what ownership thinks and just ownership in general has just taken up so much of the conversation in sports generally. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
I didn't turn on a game because I'm like, oh, I want to see how John Henry's, like, latest asset is performing. Like, that's not what
it's kind of like umpires or referees. Like, when you know an umpire's name or, like, a referee's name in soccer, you're like, this is bad. I should not know Hunter Wendelstadt's name.
Speaking of which, did you hear about the umpire who got fired?
I just saw this. Yeah.
He's like, it sucks when he's like also a good umpire.
He was a good one.
Why can you also suck at umpiring?
Yeah, he was a what was his name again? Look it up. Yeah, I just saw that. And then I want to go through maybe some predictions of, playoffs, who's getting where, who's winning it. Early, way too early, not even done with free agency predictions.
It was Pat Hoberg.
Yeah, right. He was a good umpire, yeah.
He had the perfect game.
What did he do? Why did he get...
He was sharing an account for like a sports gambling app with a buddy of his, and the buddy, I guess, bet on baseball, but Hoberg didn't. But like because
I never know what to believe. It's like the Shohei interpreter interpreter thing. I don't.
Apparently, like Hoberg like deleted text messages that the FBI that MLB was wanted to see as part of their investigation. So then they were like, okay, well now we have to fire you.
Yeah. Okay, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
Also, just like, I don't know, don't gamble.
Yeah.
Also, like, let's stop promoting gambling.
Yeah, that's like such a crazy gray area. I always see soccer players talking about this. They're like, I'm not allowed to gamble, but it's literally like my shirt is sponsored by DraftKings. Like Everton is sponsored by like Stake, like a gambling company. Like it's like, what the fuck is this? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, when the Ohtani thing happened, Manfred said something like, players have it's a privilege to play in this game, and part of what comes with this privilege is like their responsibility to not gamble on baseball. And I'm like, okay, so they don't have the luxury of gambling because they play in your league, but your league is able to make money off of gambling.
Yeah, it's
like what
not great.
The fuck does that mean?
And look, like, I'm not a huge gambler. I'm not a huge sports bettor, but, like, I do enjoy it occasionally. But, like...
I never have.
I dipped on it a few times. It's all right. It gets a little too fun, and then you're like, I got to stop. But, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think we should have DraftKings on the batting helmets. Like, that just seems not right.
I also just, like, it's a relentless advertising campaign, and gambling is addictive.
Hell yeah, bro.
Addiction is a serious thing. I mean, gambling does ruin people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's the same as like, fact of the matter is I don't think any ads for alcohol actually show anybody drinking alcohol.
You're not allowed to. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I think, okay, why are we shoving gambling so far down people's throats? Like
that's like the new thing.
And it's not.
It'll become like cigarettes at some point where they can't advertise anymore.
I hope so.
Okay. Way too early predictions for who's making the playoffs from each.
I think
it's pretty hard. The AL is hard.
I think the Yankees win the division.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Cleveland wins AL
Definitely.
Central.
I'm high on Cleveland. I think they're good.
The West is a toss-up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Texas surprising us a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
I think the wild card will be I not just saying it because I'm a fan. I do think the Red Sox get the wild card.
Oh yeah. No, I've got them 100%.
I think Detroit gets the other wild card.
Interesting.
I think the third wild card, it's either like Baltimore or Kansas City. I think the Astros missed the playoffs for the first time in a while.
Okay.
And then in the NL,
you got no more Kyle Tucker.
In the NL, I actually do think the Cubs could win their division. Because they now have Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, they've got a pretty good team.
They got a lot of young guys too. But in the NL East, I mean, I want to say the Mets, but that just the idea of like the Mets winning anything is just like so
it
implausible.
Seems impossible. Yeah.
But the Mets, and then in the West, the Dodgers, of course.
Okay.
Actually, no hot take. I think the Padres are going to win the division.
No way.
No. And then I think Philly, Milwaukee, and Arizona take the wild cards.
Arizona. Okay.
Arizona's good.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Got all the Corbins.
Yeah, truly. All right, I'll go Yankees, AL East, Central, Cleveland. I got a real hot take for you. The California Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are finishing dead last.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I'm going to go with, I hate to say this, but I think I'm still going to pick Houston. I still think Houston's going to win the division. I don't know why, but I just feel like they always find a way.
I mean, that house of cards is about to come tumbling
It
down.
probably will, but I think they've got one more. I don't think they're winning shit. I think they'll bounce in the first round, but I think they're getting through. I think Jordan's gonna hit a bunch of home runs. They still have Jose Altuve. Like they'll be a good team. I don't see Seattle being like super competitive, especially because there is still a chance that
Well, they just have no offense.
Yeah, I don't know. So Texas, I think will get a wild card. Boston gets a wild card. Ooh.
Did you say Detroit?
No. And I don't know if I'm going Detroit or Baltimore.
Oh, dude, go Detroit.
I think that's where I'm headed. I'm going to go Detroit.
Because Detroit has pitching.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Detroit. And that division is going to be...
That division's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I don't have Kansas City for sure.
I don't think Kansas City.
I don't have Kansas City. Yeah, you know what? I'm cool with Detroit. I'm going to go with Detroit. So we got Yankees, Sox, Tigers, Astros, Guardians, and that's it, right? I think that's 6. Okay.
Texas.
Oh, and Texas, right. NL, Fighting Phils are going to win the NL East. I don't know why, but that's the feeling I'm getting.
I was going to say, explain that.
I just think that they're like due for a humongous, like I think they're going to win like 100 games. I just have a feeling that like Harper's going to go dumb fuck. Like
I think they're like, if they don't, they're on the doorstep of a rebuild.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's Dave Dombrowski, right? That's his. Yeah, so that's kind of his
MO,
thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna happen. And knowing Dave Dombrowski teams, it's always at the very end that they finally do it. So I think that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. So I got Fighting Phils. I've got the Brewers. I've got the NL West. Oh my. Dodgers. Yeah. I don't know why for a moment I thought maybe that'll be more competitive than it's going to be Dodgers. I think
like
it'll still be competitive.
The wild card spot will be competitive.
Yeah. So let's go. So those 3, let's say Mets.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta's kind of an interesting team.
I don't think Atlanta gets it. I mean, I think they got Profar. I think they made one other move.
They just have a fun team, but I don't know. That's a tricky one. I'm going to go Mets. I'm going to go San Diego again.
I think that team is.
Do you think they're donezo?
I think they're basically like a scrapyard now. Like they're just you get to take pieces.
I think I'm gonna go San Diego. I
think can I hit you with another hot take?
Yeah.
I think Fernando Tatis Jr. ends the season in a different uniform.
If they're not 8 to 10 games above 500 at the deadline, he's gone. If they're even 3 or 4, he's gone.
Which, by the way,
I would take him.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the steroids thing. I'll take him.
That was years ago.
I don't care. I'll take him. And then I got Cubs as my last team. I agree with you.
Yeah, no, I think the Cubs.
They're going to be a strong team, but I don't think they're going to win the division.
Good. I like the Cubs. I just like their vibe. They're cozy.
Yeah,
like
they're
jerseys.
cool. No, I like seeing Wrigley in October.
Yeah.
And then here's my way too early World Series.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to go Dodgers again. Surprise. I'm going to go Dodgers Guardians.
Oh, God, I do not like that.
I'm going to go Dodgers Guardians, I'm going to say the Dodgers would probably win that World Series.
I don't care enough about the Guardians.
I love I love Big Christmas, bro. I love that whole thing. I think it's cool, but that's like just my fun little. I think that their bullpen is nasty, and I think they didn't have a lot of experience going in this year, and I think they got nervous, they imploded, but that's a huge piece of a winning team. They can pitch.
How would you feel about a rematch of last year?
I wouldn't love it, to be honest. I think it'd be exciting, but like I really hate watching the Yankees in October.
What if it was a rematch of 2018? What if it's the Red Sox get there?
I'd be stoked.
I would be like the whole time I'd be like, oh, we're gonna get like
we're gonna get trounced,
about getting trounced, but like also it's like it would be such a like David and Goliath thing.
As a baseball fan, you got to want to see the Dodgers in the World Series because they play great baseball. They're just like it's like we saw last year. They execute all the fundamentals to the detriment of the other teams that they play.
Well, I think I think we got to see them in the World Series. I think if they win 2 in a row, then we're going to start to like question the parity stuff and like
it'll be like the Chiefs.
It'll be like the Chiefs. Yeah, I think nothing. And I apologize to Dodger fans. I think nothing would be better for baseball than for the Dodgers to get to the World Series and lose.
Yeah, totally. I agree. But I just love watching Dodger baseball.
That said, if it's not the Red Sox playing against them, I'm probably rooting for the Dodgers in the World Series. So I would be sad about that.
Yeah. I still love Mookie. Love Dave Roberts.
Love Mookie. I'd walk into fire for Mookie.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to wrap up with?
I don't know. I think we should probably explain to our listeners what the game plan is. We're gonna we're gonna put out episodes weekly. We're aiming for Fridays. I don't know what day you're listening to this, but you can find our podcast on Spotify, on Apple. We'll be launching our social media accounts, hopefully
all quickly.
Soon.
Yeah.
And you can also listen to this through our Substack newsletter, Not From Boston, which you can subscribe to as well. I think that's
it.
Everything. I'm looking forward to this season. It's
yeah,
gonna be fun.
Pitchers and catchers. There's next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm just looking forward to a season where I have hope for the first time going into it. Like I know that they were a 500 team last year, but they gave me a lot of hope.
Well, I think like last year's team really surprised us.
Yeah,
the bar was so much lower, and so I'm like,
I was thinking 70 wins. Like I was not.
I'm like, if that team surprised us, like, then this team surprises us.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So let's see. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's have some October memories. That's what we want.
Yeah, I want October baseball.
Get that right-handed bat.